Well, Prime Minister Christie says his administration will not be confined by the conventional as it fights an extraordinary criminal element. Clint tells us tonight that at the opening of the Regional Police Commissioners Conference, Mr. Christie detailed the approach his government will take in getting crime under control.
We have had sufficient talk on strategies. We must now transform these strategies into action to reduce our present levels of crime.
National Security Minister Dr. Nottage is not alone in his view. In fact, governments throughout the Caribbean realize that while the region shares history and culture, so is its challenges with crime, an opposing force that is threatening the very survival and financial viability of its people and economies. In fact, one of the main priorities of the new administration is to unleash an assault on crime never seen before. The government hopes to do it through Project Safe Bahamas.
This government believes that the implementation of these strategies will significantly reduce the present levels of crime being experienced in our country.
For Prime Minister Perry Christie, the ACCP is his first speaking engagement at a conference since general elections. And given the challenges his administration is facing, in his view, it's a good place, time, and group to start with. In fact, he says the success of the region in addressing crime depends on this esteemed body of police commissioners adopting effective mechanisms and best practices. But this body can't do it alone. Mr. Christie says a holistic approach engaging all stakeholders must be done. He says his administration has decided that they are going to take the fight to the streets.
When you are fighting on law and order matters and dealing with the behavior of people who kill people, the fine distinction between the defense force and the police force do not exist for me. So when I'm speaking about a fight, an overcoming a struggle, my mandate to the Minister of National Security is to find the formula to enable all of the forces that exist in our country to get involved in that fight.
The Prime Minister believes a big part of their success will be through the implementation of Urban Renewal 2.0, which seeks to empower youth.
We feel strongly that the implementation of this program will ultimately lead to a reduction of crime in our communities. We will remain firm and resolute in pursuing those among us who continue to commit crimes and cause fear among our people. No effort will be spared in finding and directing the appropriate resources to counter such threats and reassure our citizens of the full support of the state.
But he says above all this, ordinary people must join the fight.
To a great extent, their safety and their security depends on the level to which they are prepared to join in that fight.
The Prime Minister challenged these commissioners from the regions to become agents of change. He says it's important for them to implement the strategies that they discussed this week, as at the end of the day, it's important for CARICOM not to suffer from the fallout of crime. At the Imperial Ballroom in the Atlantis Resort, I'm Paradise Island, Clint Watson, ZNS News.